Okay, this is part four. So we pretty much killed whatever it is we needed to kill on a beach, and now you've run into the boss. His name is Hillick. He is huge, and he does some pretty decent damage if you let him touch you. The idea when you're playing ranged is to attack and move away, attack and move away. They call this kiting. If you are using a close ranged character, I suppose you will find a better way to fight him. I'm assuming it would be attack, and whenever he's about to hit you, uh, run to a side where his attack isn't going to land, like to the left of him, or the right of him, or behind him, and then hit him again. And so, yeah, I'm just replaying it back so you can see. Once you get his health about to like 50%, he unlocks phase two, where he pulls out a weapon. I believe he attacks a little faster and hits a little harder and gets all of his health back. So then you have to get it all the way back to zero again. If you die here, don't worry about it. You respawn, you come all the way back, you can fight him again, and keep doing it until he dies. You could potentially fight some of these extra enemies in order to get some more potions back if for whatever reason you're low. Don't be discouraged if he kills you. This is literally the start of the game and you are figuring it out. So just keep pushing until you get there, because once you get there, you will level up and it will look something like that. Now, once you level up, you are going to, well, once you kill him, I believe it is pretty much always an automatic level up. But once you level up, you are going to get a skill point as well as a group of items that hit the floor or ground. I guess if you have been watching since episode one, you might be asking, hey, how come my items don't have these green boxes, blue boxes, big text, whatever the case may be? That is because I am using something called a loot filter, which helps me find gear that specifically could be a little bit more useful for me. Right now, you're at the start of the game. Don't worry about a loot filter. Just pick up any and all items, anything that could potentially be a good replacement for you. Whenever you hover your mouse over them, it should have a specific like picture representing what that item is. And if you're playing a warrior, then a wand might not be useful in terms of using it, but could be useful in terms of selling it in order to get some currency back for something you might need later on. Now, once you beat him and you have leveled up and you've gotten your items, you have the opportunity to put points into your skill tree. I will talk about that when I actually do it on screen, but I wanted to say that once you beat him, a door is going to open up and you will run into that door. On your map, it'll be an orange door like we spoke about in the first tutorial, I believe, and it will lead you into your first home base. And pretty much all of these games, this home base will be town. This is called Lion's Eye Watch. It will be the first town you have access to. As you can see, now I'm starting to move stuff around. I'm more comfortable with just having one life potion and one mana potion. To each his own. It all depends on what it is that you want to do. You will see there are 3 exclamation points, meaning there are 3 NPCs here. Some will give quests, and we will go over a few things here because a lot has happened. If you do not know what an NPC is, it just stands for non-playable character. So this is really just AI, artificial intelligence. The types of people that you can interact with that are not actual players. So whenever I say NPC, that is what I'm referring to. So this big blue thing, when you run in, is your waypoint. You can use this to teleport and move through places, kind of like a fast travel system in case you don't want to run all the way there. When you are first coming in and you are talking to these NPCs, whether it's to just pick up on lore or just to kind of push through for content with quests and whatnot, you will notice that these NPCs will end up giving you quests. So when I come running up to them and I click on them, I interact with them, I talk with them. If you look to the top right, I now have updates to things that I need to do. They are giving me missions, they are giving me responsibilities, and these responsibilities are what I am going to be focusing on in order to finish campaign. Now, outside of that, I have ran into an NPC who has delivered a set of skills. You will see this a little bit more often during campaign, because the game is giving you the opportunity to touch a handful of skills to figure out how it is you want to play the game from that point forward. And this will constantly change, but let's look through this little list. Okay, so this list is going to be pretty extensive. What's that? Two, four, six different options, and I believe it is six different options for each individual character. I am the witch, so they are only going to show me blue gems, which are intelligence-based gems. If you're a warrior, you will probably get a list of red gems, which are strength-based gems. If you are a ranger, you will only get a list of green gems, which are dexterity-based gems. All of the other characters are kind of hybrids of attributes, so they might get a mix of red and blue or green and red, or I think I've done all green and blue, maybe not, I'm not sure. It just depends. Also, the gems that they will offer you will be based off of whatever weapon it is that you are using at that time. Because I am a witch, I am using a wand. If well, because I am using a wand, I'm going to get skills that are more so centered around magic and potentially even summoning. Whereas if you're using a bow, you're probably going to get skills centered around arrows and maybe summoning something to shoot arrows and things of that nature. And if you are using some close range weapon, you're probably going to get skills regarding attacking fast, like in a flurry of attacks, or attacking in further places, attacking multiple times rather than just attacking once, attacking in a wider area rather than just this smaller swing, right? They're going to offer a lot of different abilities based off of the weapon type that you have. So for this specific run that I am choosing, I'm going with Raise Zombie because I want to have a summoner type of build, meaning I'm going to want things fighting for me. So I personally decided to go Raise Zombie. You can pick whatever it is you want to pick for whatever character it is you are currently playing. I am just looping you into what I am doing. So I'm reading through, I'm stopping, and I'm watching, and I'm juggling what could be something a little more fun for me. A lot of build guides use some of these abilities. I've used these before when I was following builds, and now here I am trying to figure things out. Right now, I'm in the store and I am selling the extra gear that I have. You'll notice that when I pick up a weapon, my slots will glow green, my gear slots. I cannot change my weapons while I am in the shop buying or selling. So I sell the gear that I don't want to use, and then I come back and I change that gear out. Something else that I ran into that you may or may not have noticed is that I have a new wand. And the wand, looking at the stats, seemed significantly stronger than what I already have. If you want to be able to tell what stats you do and don't have, if you are using PC, those main keys are going to be left control, left shift, and left alt. Not all at the same time, but using them in different combinations will give you different results. I believe in Path of Exile 1, I think to compare two items is either left control or left shift. Make sure your mouse is hovering over the item that you want to use, and then you hold either left control or left shift, and it will show you what it is that you can actually use to, you know, compare stats side by side and find out what is stronger. But what I was also getting at is that you may notice I got a new wand and I have Fireball and Arcane Surge linked on my old wand, and I want to use Fireball and Arcane Surge together on my new wand, but I have no links on my new wand. Okay, I do, however, have a link on my chess piece. You see, I have two sockets and they are linked together. So, what I end up deciding to do, or rather, I should say, what I should have done is put the new wand in place, and because the sockets are not touching each other, put my Fireball and Arcane Surge on my chess piece, and then put my Raise Zombies, which is just one skill, in my new wand, because none of those are touching, so I'm not going to lose the support of Arcane Surge on my Fireball, because they will still be linked, they'll just be on my chest. All of that to say that you can have your damaging powers on other parts of your gear. It does not have to be tied to your weapon. But what I decided to try out on my own instead was to have two wands equipped at the same time. When I picked up the secondary wand, my offhand glowed green, meaning that I can hold the secondary wand and the primary wand together at the same time and probably get both benefits that each wand has to offer that would make me stronger. So it's a win-win. Um, that's one thing. Something else I wanted to talk about was identifying gear. Gear will have this red background on it. If you hover your mouse over the gear with a red background, it will tell you whether or not you can use the gear. If you hover, and you'll see it because I'm going to be replaying this same clip over and over again. I tend to do that whenever I am explaining something. But what I'm getting at is you might notice that over certain parts of my wand, really there's one wand that's red and one helmet that's red. When I hover my mouse over them, they will give me the stats that they have, and then it will have a red, like unidentified underneath the stats. All that means is I can use that piece of gear. My character is able to use it, but that gear needs to be identified. Okay, well, how do you identify an item? You have, tutorial should have talked about this, but just in case you missed it, you have red scrolls in your inventory. You will have at least one after you've beaten Hillock, right? These red scrolls allow you to identify items. So when an item drops in the background it's red, it means that that item is currently unidentified, meaning that your character doesn't know what kind of item it actually is. Sure, it could be a helmet, but your character doesn't know what comes with that helmet. Does that helmet give you more damage? Does that helmet give you more life? Does it give you all of the above? How will you know until you figure out what it can do? So in order to figure that out, you have to put a red scroll on it. This red scroll is called a scroll of wisdom. If you are using mouse and keyboard, you right click a scroll of wisdom and then you left click the item that has a red background. When you do, boom, that item is now officially identified, meaning that you can wear it and you are no longer restricted from it. If you get an item, or if you see an item that has a red background and maybe it's identified but it's still red, then look through the stats of that item. Just hover your mouse over it and look for, or if you're on controller, kind of select the item like you're looking at it and look for any numbers that are red on that item. Those red numbers are what is holding you back from being able to use that item. So if your character uses strength and you have a red number in dexterity, then maybe you need some more dexterity to use that item. If you don't have a way to get more dexterity at that time, just sell the item and keep pushing. Okay, so we have talked about selling items, which the guy who gives the gems, I'm blanking on his name right now. You literally just talk to him to get the gem. You can kind of, I think it's Tarkley. You can touch each individual NPC. They have their names printed right on top of them. And if they don't, go to your settings, go to options, go to UI, and turn it on so that they do. But you can come up to them, interact with them, and majority of them will have a buy items option and a sell items option. Unfortunately, it's not like Path of Exile 2, so you cannot buy and sell within the same tab, or maybe not yet. So right now, you just, whenever you want to sell something, go to sell items, pick up the item you want to sell, and put it into the little sales area. A quick way to do that on the computer is hold left control and then left click that item, and it will automatically move to that sell tab. If you want to buy an item, you go to purchase items, you hover your cursor over an item you think might be nice in order to buy. And if you have the currency, you can hold left control and then left click that item, and it will automatically go to your inventory. Or you can left click that item and carry it over to your inventory, and it will be bought. If that item does not move to your inventory, or if the currency has a red name whenever you hover over that item, that means you do not have the currency to get that item right now in this moment. There is a gold system in the game, but normal shops do not take gold for items. They take a currency you get, that you find just playing the game, or that you find from selling other items. So in that case, don't be, I guess, too beat up if you cannot currently buy an item. Um, there will be plenty more to drop as you play. There's also another shop you can use to gamble gold in order to get an item that could be useful. But right now, you don't really have gold. You just finished tutorial. So just get your items from killing enemies and keep playing. Okay, so we've talked about the skill gems. Pick whatever gem it is that you think is fun. Run with it, see how it feels. We've talked about selling and buying items. We've talked about potions. We've talked about your skills, setting your skills up, what skills do what. We talked about kind of some bare bones fighting mechanics. We talked about red scrolls. We've talked about identifying items, how to tell if an item is identified or not. We talked about whether or not you can use an item and kind of how to tell. We talked about moving gems in between different sockets. We've talked about what your health and mana are for, what the potions are for, and we've talked a little bit about the shops. I will cover more as my characters interacting with things, because this is an older recording that I am voicing over, and just keep it going from there. Until then, though, hopefully this has helped, and I will see you in part 5, where I will show off some of the gameplay, my general movements, exploring the islands. It will be like a guide, but also a walkthrough, and hopefully it'll be just a helping hand in playing the game and understanding more about it.